Sustainability is setting U.S. soy apart, giving producers an advantage in the global marketplace. The United Soybean Board introduces us to now an Iowa farmer who tells us what sustainability means for his farm.
I'm Tom Oswald. We're standing in a soybean field in northwest Iowa. I'm a fourth-generation farmer serving on the United Soybean Board as well as the Iowa Soybean Association. When people are thinking about sustainability, the concern is they're going to have to jump through a number of hoops to get there. And I would argue it's like anything else in farming where we make incremental change over time. I mean, that's the way it's always been. And I've been farming for about 35 years, and I think back at what we used to do and where we are now, and along the way it didn't really seem like that many big steps, although changing to no-till was one. But just trying to improve what you do, better records, maybe a little thoughtful about the weed control program, or again, soil and water management, possibly incorporating some habitat. It's a case of adapting different practices for what works at home on your farm. One of the ones that I am a big fan of is what GPS and all the various technologies are going for. For example, I plant my beans diagonally. I kind of like the way they harvest and plant. And with the GPS, the autopilot, we can lay our diagonal in, we can plant them. The rows shut off at the end, don't waste seed. You know, all these little things that are going on that we're probably going to do anyway. And so if you think about it, they fit under that sustainability umbrella. It doesn't have to be hard. And so I think there's a lot of ways farmers can incorporate it, and you can tell the story. I think when people in cities, which I have family in cities, then you tell them what you can do with these various technologies and how you can better manage the products you use, fewer overlaps on chemicals, better, more precise fertilizer application and seed. They're like, oh, that's cool. And that's a good thing. We want them to think about that this farming business is not for simpletons. It is a modern business with modern technology. So the sustainability link relative to the checkoff is that how do we link the good things farmers are doing, how do we support farmers trying to do better things over time with the needs of our end users. In the sustainability conversation, one of the more difficult things is to peg what is the value of being in the conversation. The way I look at it is, what's the risk of not being in that conversation? And to me, the risk of not being there is great. Being left behind is a bad thing. I think our international competitors in the soybean world, they all know that this is the conversation that's going on. They're in tune to all the information exchange that everyone else is. And we have to ask ourselves, if we're not in this conversation, will someone else steal it, run with it, and we'll be put behind, and we don't want to be behind.
To learn how you can implement these practices on your own farm, visit unitedsoybean.org.